Very good morning to you. How are you doing? Welcome to Your World this Monday morning. I hope you are great and fantastic. Let us know where you're tuned in from. And this being a Monday, you know, it's all about mindful conversations. And today, the conversation, yeah, it's a men conversation. I know we talk about this for women and for people in general, but today we're specifically having a conversation around men because every day, men in this country leave their homes. So they walk out of their homes with more than just laptops and tools of trade, but they also walk out of their houses going to work with pressure, stress, anxiety, and a lot of silence. And we have experienced so many men, the numbers are going up, where they're suffering from mental health and they are not talking to anyone, especially at the workplace. Is it safe for the men to talk about their mental health at work or not? What is the situation on ground? And that is what we're going to look at, what it looks like at home, if they're stressed at work or at home, and how do they talk about it, if at all they do. And if they don't, this is a space for you to find out how to go about it and where you can go for help. And the question that we're asking you today is pretty straightforward, and we're asking you, why are men less likely to talk about mental health at work? Why are men less likely to talk about mental health at work? That's the question we're asking you today. NTV Kenya on all of our social media platforms. Let us know. If you're a man out there and you've been struggling with this, please feel free to also talk to us on our WhatsApp number. It's open as well. It's 0769 590762, 0769 590762. Send us a WhatsApp and share your story with us, and we'll be definitely sure to read and have the experts in studio answer those questions for you. Now, talking about the experts that we have in studio, we have all kinds of people here. Today, we even have a HR practitioner joining us in the next hour. But to introduce the ones that are here with us this morning, starting from my immediate left, we have Kagondu Jr., who's a counseling psychologist. Lovely to have you on the show.
Pleasure.
And I think every time we're talking about men, we don't leave you behind.
Yes, it's very important. I'm a men's champion.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. And you're holding a book, and it's the title... The title itself, and we'll talk about that later, Becoming a Man.
Yes.
And we'll talk about that and find out what is in there and, you know, probably the journey towards choosing to be a champion, especially for men, and why it's important that we talk about this as more often than we usually do.
Sure.
Right next to Kagondu Jr., we have Silas Njagi, who's a family therapist. Lovely to have you on the show, Silas.
Thank you.
You know, I met you earlier, ulifika hapa 1 hour ago. Ready to have this, because it's like, Mimi niko tayari. I don't know about you, Mikali, but Mimi, I am ready. Lovely to have you, Silas.
Thank you.
And last but not least, next to Silas, we have Bernard Gakuru Macharia, who's a mental health champion as well. Thank you so much for coming into the show.
It's a pleasure to be here.
It really is, because you're not just a mental health champion out of learning and seeing other people walk the journey. Is because you've walked the journey, and today you're here to just share your story as well. So I'm looking forward to all of that. And even the question that, maybe you can just start with the question that we're asking today. Why is it so hard for men to talk about their mental health at work?
Pretty nice.
Yeah.
You know, when you talk about work, being a man it's actually work. It's hard.
Already, by itself. You waking up or being born as a man.
Yeah, there's a lot of expectations. There's a lot of social orientation, the way that you are socialized from the time we are growing up to by the time you get into the family setup. Think about the workplace. And you see, men is built to be strong. The way that you are socialized, we don't have to show our tears. We don't have to show the soft side of us. We can't be vulnerable in the presence of other people. Why? Because, you know, being a man, you're considered to be the pillar of hope. You know, you're the strength, and especially in a setup where there could be a few challenges. So this is why you find that it's a bit difficult, you know, for a man to come out and talk about the challenges that they are facing, talk about mental health, because, you know, if you show that you're weak, according to how the society portrays us, then you're considered to be a weakling and you're not able to provide and act out the role of being a man in the best way possible.
And it's so sad. It really is sad because I'd like to find out if those two things later can coexist, where you can share and be still seen as strong and, the epitome of what a man is supposed to be without being looked at and and even finding those spaces where men don't just buy you kawan, instead of listening to you, Yes. And how does that then affect Silas when it comes into the family setup? Because now they're leaving every day. There's this pressure from probably even where they're coming from. How does probably that manifest when it comes to the family setup?
I think that aspect of now the man being now the pillar and expected to be strong, even sometimes when you are not supposed to be strong, it's quite some pressure. And sometimes you find somebody has to act just to show everybody that everything is okay. Because like he said, the way we are wired, the way men are wired, not to show weakness, not to show emotions. So sometimes it takes tolls on a person, and sometimes even performing the duties in the family. Being a father, being a husband, sometimes it can be a bit pressurizing.
Yes.
When you are going through that, and then again, you are not able now to dispense the duties that you are supposed to dispense as a man. So it is like a double tragedy, whereby now you're getting pressure from the other end, and now the family, now you're supposed now to be now the one who is giving the solutions. It is very tricky for a man. Yeah.
Again, and Bernard, thank God you're here, because now we get to hear from your life experience. What was it like, and did you have a space? What was that situation like for you? We have time. You can share your story with us so that we even know and use that as a basis for any other man out there who's thinking they have no space to talk. But on national television this morning, you are here to just share that was me, but I'm not that person. I'm here to champion and let you know that things can be better.
Oh, okay. Actually, I've just checked my brother here and his book, Becoming a Man.
Yes.
And I was I would really love to know what exactly informed him.
Yes.
What informed that decision for him to write that book.
That book, yes.
Because he must have gone through something.
Yes, absolutely.
That actually led him to write that book.
Yes.
So back to your question, I'll agree with everyone. Yeah. Every man out there is going through a lot. I think it's every man, basically.
Yeah.
It is just that some of us or some of men have learned the art of carrying this burden, but it's still a burden. Lakini, we have the 1%, just like my brother here has said, stressors of life. But at the end of the day, what is informing these stressors? At the end of the day, I always tell people, stress at work does not begin at work. It begins immediately your alarm goes off. And you step out of the bed. And you are like, ni Monday, sasa.
Nimeamka.
Here we go. I had a friend who used to wake up and say, ni Monday, back to slavery.
Oh.
Now the weekend is over.
Yes.
But yes, I've been there. And it was hard, I won't lie.
Okay.
And you will cope, you will put on a mask, you will pretend. But all this, basically, and what my brothers here have shared, is a cry for help. But when it comes to men, the problem is our cry is not loud enough. No one is listening to our cries.
Yeah.
Staying here base, I'm a place like this, and I'm like, guys, listen.
Nikubaya.
My wife is beating me.
Okay.
There is the response.
Yes.
You see?
Yeah.
People will laugh.
Yeah.
There is that notion that, being a man, you're supposed to be the Teflon. Unaweza pitia pambana.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, how much can you take? Personally, it broke me down to a point where, I developed a coping mechanism.
What was happening even before you look for help and the coping mechanism? What was it like, and where was it coming from? Were you getting direct pressure from family? Was it direct pressure on yourself, from your peers? Nini ilikuwa inaendelea hiyo season ya maisha yako? And even how old you are, because sometimes tunakwanga hapo na expectations, umemaliza kila mtu anakuangalia zile za hii miaka umefika saizi unafaa kuwa na watoto kama 5 you know, and you're trying to see and try to put your life together.
For you to fully understand like what I was going through,
Yeah.
let me put it in a question.
Okay.
A bird and a fish can fall in love, but where would they build their house?
Hapo ni ngori.
A bird and a fish can fall in love.
Yes.
Where will they build their house? So my situation was somehow like that. Like, yes, age has played, you know, a role in all this.
Yes.
Me personally, I've played a role. Familiar role plus help. You know, sometimes the two can, you know, like...
They can, yeah.
Combine and come up with kitu ingine totally different.
That's true.
But basically, if I was to pinpoint exactly what led me to that situation, to mental health like issues,
Yes.
as much as I will point a finger at that bird, that fish, that goat, that one,
Yeah.
I must first of all also point one finger back at me.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, help
Yeah.
existed.
Okay.
But nilijiona mjanja in the name of, I can deal with it.
Mimi ni ndume.
You know,
Yes.
and as time passed, hizo na
Yeah.
led me to a dark place
Okay.
where basically like now, you know, the moment like you wake up and days feels the same. You know, like everyone has given up on you. You have run out of excuses. Again, I would really love to read that book.
Autoki hapa bila copy, right?
Assigned to copy, becoming a man. Because I have a lot of questions as far as that book is concerned.
Yes.
And you know, like when you run out of excuses,
Yeah.
now it is just you and your thoughts.
That's true.
Now, what kind of thoughts do you harbor? What are you working with? Remember, we are a product of our thoughts
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Yes.
So, whatever thought hits you, that's how you react. I was telling another guy, everything that you do, even the way that we are seated,
Yes.
is a trauma response. So, me was just reacting or responding
Yeah.
to whatever it is that I was going through mentally.
Yes.
Either najua ama sijui.
Ama sijui.
Because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
I have no like, tunazitanga well-defined goals ama roles or commitments to look forward to. You know, like we're in so many opportunities
Yes.
and people don't know about mental health out there. They see it as ule hakuna tutajafanyiwa. Ule hakuna ule.
Yeah.
But I'm also fighting my own internal
Your own
battles.
yes.
And that is why I started by asking you, a bird and a fish can fall in love.
But where
Now
will they
building
be?
that house,
Yes.
now that is where the problem comes in.
Okay. And I'd like to find out where that dark place it was, because this is a journey. For you to be here today, Bernard, is because you were able at some point to face those fears. You're able to probably see the help and go for it. And as a champion now, you are walking the journey with other people. But the question that he asked, na kona maswali mingi kagondo sijui, mtakuwa na session, yeah, kind of, but even to just answer the question that he asked earlier, that book, what made you write it? What were you going through? What had you gone through before
Yes.
to inform the message that, to get the drive to write Becoming a Man?
Yes, you know, we know we get such reactions, especially when we introduce the book Becoming a Man.
Yes.
And most of the men feel like, you know, you're just being not so kind to them because you consider them not to be men enough, all right?
Yes.
And becoming a man is actually an everyday affair. All
Okay.
right. And what led to all this is through my practice as a counselor. And many young students are sent to us, young people are sent to us for support, more so with misconduct issues. Talk about, you know, matters in discipline cases in schools and all that. And we're able to identify that one of the main challenges, it will be the absent fathers or daddy issues. And when you talk about the daddy issues, it's good to appreciate the the fact that most of the fathers out there, they are not present either physically or not, or emotionally. And out of it, you find that through that they had their children in one way or the other, they had their significant other in one way or the other. And what we say is that most of the issues that we have in the society, we do contribute them to men. We can agree to that. And especially when we go through issues and we don't have a good way to deal with them. And especially where we say, and like Bernard is saying, we become reactive to situations.
Yeah.
We are not able to deal with them directly or in a healthy way. And this is where you hear issues to do with, to talk about the unhealthy coping mechanisms. So what do we have here? It is a book that will help you to go through a journey of self-awareness, to really understand who a man is, getting to understand some of the issues that we go through, you know, as men, how they affect us and how they affect the people around us, and through which you can be able to pick some skills that you can be able to deal with, and especially that will help you to cope with life issues in a healthy way. So what we say is that, boy child, there is hope. Okay, and when we say that there is hope, it's because we know if I work on myself, my family will be in a better space. I'll have a happier family. When I work on myself, my spouse will enjoy, you know, the union. Same case with my kids. And when I work on myself, even at the workplace, I'll be a more productive person, leading to the productivity in, you know, in an organization. And you can think when my family is happy, my workplace is okay, the society actually becomes a better place. Maybe this is where we are as a nation, because the men are hurting within. And they're yet to heal. Okay? And you hear all manner of, you know, news. Like in the evening, you can be able to tell how the plot will play out. Okay? From the fighting, the domestic violence, the killings and all that. And most of the perpetrators, it will be the men. And to me, these are men who are communicating that I'm not okay. And this is why becoming a man is actually an encyclopedia for every man who is out there, to help them to become a better person so that we can heal the world. I normally say, if you heal the man, you heal the world.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And just to go back, you wanted to ask a question, Bernard.
Just a word on what you are saying. As a counselor also, I train people on reparenting. You know, at the end of the day, you need to reparent
ourselves.
Sometimes there are values and morals that you acquired from your parents that were actually programmed. You know, like if you get deep into psychology, between 1 and 7 years, they're called the tigers. Everything that you know, you knew back then, was programmed. I told this is a TV. So when you grow up, you are working with a program that actually does not belong to you. That is why in some circles you'll hear people talking about their inner child. If you and your inner child are not congruent, no matter how hard you try to change, it will be very difficult. Again, that book, Becoming a Man, basically, like, the reason why I want to read it is there are so many things, issues, you know, as far as men are concerned. Positive. And sometimes you listen to maybe a proverb. Like I had a very good proverb that says, you know, like, by the time a man realizes his father was right, he already has a son that thinks he's wrong. And then I'm reading this book that is telling me to reparent myself.
Absolutely.
And I'm wrong now.
You
know, like, there's that confusion that only a person who has gone through something, it is more like, kitabu lazima usome from an individual point of view.
And I think it's just like how you said, it's personal and it's an everyday thing. I want us to go on a break, but when you come back, and I like that you brought up the age between 1 to 7, because I want to Silas to probably touch on the importance of the role of the upbringing, emotional expression, especially for men, you know, how to cope with stress, especially for men, and the spaces that we grow up in and how that influences how men can cope with stress, understand it, see it, and not see it as something that I need to conquer. See it as maybe I need help to do this. I don't have to probably know everything, but we will get to that after the break. But the question that we're asking you today is pretty simple, and you can give us your answer on our WhatsApp number. The question we're asking you today is, Why are men less likely to talk about mental health at work? Why are men less likely to talk about mental health at work? And our WhatsApp number is 0769 590-762. 0769 590-762. Please do send us your WhatsApp messages and answer to our question of the day, and we'll take a look at that after the break. Welcome back to Your World. We're talking about mental health at work and how difficult it is, especially for men, to talk about their mental health situations at work. If they're struggling with anything, they've just probably man up, and we've seen the consequences of that, which we'll be talking about later. But the question we're asking you today is, why are men less likely to talk about mental health at work? The question of the day is, why are men less likely to talk about mental health at work? So NTV Kenya on all of our social media platforms, let us know what your answer to the question is. And you can also send us to our WhatsApp number as well. It's open for you to just share your thoughts with us. And the number is 0769 590-762. 0769 590-762. And on my WhatsApp, I see Ian saying that answering the question of the day is because when there is a problem, we work on finding the solution first without losing the middle ground of every other situation around us. Mentally, men are programmed that talking about a problem without a solution at hand is just a joke to oneself. The shame and frustration from society, every man trying not to look weak when deep inside there's a boiling volcano. Whew. Whew. Yeah. There's loads of truth in there, and if you listened to Bernard sharing that, it was just like everybody around you is giving up on you, and you also have inside battles, and we're just trying to figure out what that is. And just before the break, Silas was asking about the role of our upbringing, and young boys being taught how to handle stress, to see it, how to express it, and how to cope with it, and what is the role of that setup, even including the relationship that boys have with their fathers.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mwikali. And I think I'm so happy that we're having this conversation for men, mental wellness. And I think 5 years ago, we will not be talking about this conversation. And I think when COVID came is when now mental illness became a reality. And now people could talk openly about it because it was very practical. Like people lost jobs, yeah, and things happened, and people are just there in the house, and a lot of challenges. And so I'm happy that we can now boldly talk about mental illness when now we talk about now men, and especially in the workplace. And I think one of the things that we are considering that maybe our generation, I don't know what generation you are, but you look like Gen X.
Maybe Gen Z.
You are
in spirit.
In the spirit, okay, yeah. So I think what we are considering is that my generation, we are not expressive, and we are dying from the inside because of the way that we are wired from the maybe cultural background and what have you. But then the question that we need to ask is now, how do we help now our children and the generation that are behind us? Yeah, we were taught that now being expressive is a weakness, and a man is supposed to give solutions like we've had. Yeah. So now, how do we ensure that now our children and those that are behind don't become victims of what we have? Because like what we say now, the coping mechanisms that men, very popular with men, is taking 1-2 for the road, kutoa lock and what have you.
Yes.
And you do that, and then after it goes down, the levels go down, the same challenge that you are trying to run away from, it is still there. So it goes to now, how do we ensure that now what has become of us does not now happen to our children?
Yeah.
And it goes back to parenting, and you mentioned about now the 0 to 7 years.
Yes.
And what we call now the formative years. And the way that you can maybe help now that generation is to support parenting and ensure that parents build a good attachment between them and their children. The attachment that is built at that age, it goes ahead now in helping the children to be more secure. And I think our generation, we were raised with a lot of insecurity, whereby instructions were supposed to be adhered to.
Yes.
Yeah. So when actually some were not even verbalized. If them there, yeah, just the eyes just spoke and
Yes.
somebody would just jump into action.
Yes.
But now we were faced with another generation that doesn't understand this language. So it goes back to now those attachment. How is the attachment levels with you and your son? Because I think that is where now the problem begins. So that attachment, it goes a long way now in building confidence and helping even children to be more sociable.
Yeah.
There's a parenting style that we call authoritative, and I think it is the ideal, whereby children, though they are given instruction, they are supported to, to perform that task.
Okay.
It is not just about, like the military way of, doing things, whereby you're given an instruction, no questions, you just execute.
Yes.
But now in authoritative, you told what to do, and then you are shown how, and then you are supported. So according to those who study behavior, the psychology, they say that now that kind of an upbringing, it helps children to be more confident, more sociable. And it is also said that they also perform well in school. They are very good in relationships. So I think we can begin there, Mwikali,
Yes.
by ensuring that as children grow, there's some good attachment. Their emotional needs are well catered for.
Yes.
There's another one that is called uninvolved. This is whereby it's like children just grow on their own. So no guidance, no nothing.
Yeah.
And so they just grow and they have so many challenges, including managing their challenges and what have you. So this relationship between now the parent and the child becomes very key, because the support that is given there, it goes along the way, even when now people become adults.
Yes.
That foundation becomes now very crucial as they grow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Kagondu, let's talk about the influence of the father to the boy child, and probably what that relationship should look like. And I like how Silas has said, because we know how we were brought up.
Yeah.
Now we do not need to do the same thing. We need to do better, because the same look that we were given by our fathers, right now you give that look to a child and akuza, what's wrong with your eyes, Dad? Are you okay? It's wrong to stare. So, but then it meant something different to us. But with the relationship between the boys and their fathers.
I just like the mere fact that we appreciate where we are coming from.
Yes.
Because the look was something else.
It was. It was a complete statement.
Oh yes, complete. Nowadays they'll ask you, shida ni nini na macho yako? You understand? And I just like that. How honest and vocal they are. Meaning that we are in a totally different generation. Maybe that's why I feel more Gen Z than, Yes. In my book, Becoming a Man, there's a chapter on passing on the baton.
Okay.
And when you think about passing on the baton, this is what you instill in the next generation. And what I saw more so as we were growing up, I witnessed families where the grandpa used to beat up their grandma, and then the father took that up. Then later on, the son is also doing the same. And you find that our families are actually a big school. That is the first school that you go to. Even before you enroll for the kindergarten, talk about the PP1, and so on and so forth. And the thing is, there's a lot of learning that takes place, right at home.
Yes.
And the presence of a dad means a lot. The mother who give you that affection, and it feels so nice when you're around your mom, when they tell you it's going to be okay and all that.
Yes.
But on the other side, you also need the father, who should be there to show you that, yes, we can go through these tides and we can be able to manage all this. But as much as, yes, we are talking about the father instilling the best things and portraying a very good picture, it's also very important for the son to witness the father feeling. Okay? Because that is how they're able to learn how to maneuver through and deal with life issues and more so the challenges that we face.
Yes.
But you see, as men, what do? You want to hide, you don't want to show the dark side, you don't want to show your tattered, clothes, because for you, there's a lot of shame that comes with that. And maybe this is why men are unable to come out and talk about the challenges and that they face, all right? And, when Bernard was asking, could it be a personal encounter encounter. Yes, there's an element of a personal journey, you know, that has contributed to writing the book. Because I'm brought up by a dad, though now late. Actually, we are celebrating 3 years after he transitioned. That was on 31st. And I remember for the better part of my upbringing, I saw a dad who really struggled with a lot of addiction, all right? And to me, by then, I could not understand what was happening with him. Because when I look at how we were brought up, I really admired how it was with the brother, with other families. And I was like, man, if I was given a chance, then mimi ningezaliwa kwa kina Uhuru, you know? Mahali, guka amechoro pale kwa pesa. But the thing is, there was a lot of challenge when it came to the addictions and all that. And let me tell you, through what I saw, because one of the main things that I really, I was really missing out, it was a personal encounter with my dad, where we could talk about life issues. You know, when I'm teaching these young fellas on the journey towards becoming a man, or even the classes on life skills, I normally share this encounter that I had. When I got into my puberty, I remember my titties getting somehow tender. And I didn't have somebody to ask, you know, what is happening with my body. And I remember going to one of my uncles, and the uncle was telling me, well, okay, Koma, you're going to know what is happening. And you see, I missed out on a very good opportunity where I could have been psychoeducated on the changes that happen, you know, in your body and how to maneuver through that. So what am I saying?
Yes.
That the presence of a father is very important in the life of a boy, because every cub needs a lion to bring out the lion in them. So every boy needs a man to bring out the man in them. Yes, mummies, they do some pretty nice job of making a baby to become a boy, but it's going to take a man, and this is a father, to make this boy to become a man. Through working with them, a lot of coaching, a lot of mentorship, support, you know, being shown how to maneuver through life, and of course, managing some of those life expectations and the challenges that we see. And this is a wake-up call, you know, for every man out there, for every daddy who is there, who is out there, to be present, you know, in your son's life, because it is very important, all right? Because they need you more than ever, because every boy needs a man to bring out the man in them.
Absolutely. Because we see our dads as heroes. They can conquer the world. We'll be playing huko nje na nasema ndakuitia baba yangu, atachapa baba yako. Kwa baba yangu ndio strong kwa world. But then we don't see their vulnerabilities. We don't see them when probably they're broken down and stuff like that. So are we as men ready to show that to our children, that we are not all number one? We were not all number one, that probably I was failing in this and not very good at this.
And that's very important, because many of the times you hear parents say, you know, mimi nilikuwa naongoza, I was the best in mathematics, till you meet their classmates and they'll tell you a different story. And you see the importance of all this, and especially to share on your low times and all that. It will be a very good encounter between you and your son, vis-a-vis your daughter, to tell them that it is okay, even for you to go through the life challenges. And it is also possible for you to come out of it through showing how to be able to manage them in a healthy way.
Absolutely. We'd gotten to the part, Bernard, where you got into a dark place because you could talk to nobody, and you were struggling inside. And I think you found a coping mechanism. What was that coping mechanism? And what was that phase of life looking like for you at that point?
Actually, like, my coping mechanism was alcohol.
Booze.
And not just booze, like you know it, but I was drinking looking for oblivion, just to forget.
Okay.
You know, like, wacha ni KO for 30 minutes, at least nijisahau kidogo. Lakini I forgot that actually alcohol, what it does, it just postpones anxiety and then multiplies it. You know, like, and it went on, like, me, I drank, and I actually, you know, said and talked about this openly. Me, I'm an open book. For 10 years, like, straight. For 10 years. Not just drinking, but I want to get drunk.
Okay.
You know, like, it is like you're chasing a high, and the moment you sober up, you are no longer like the person who you used to be. Like, it is something else that is waking you up. You know, like, if you have done the 12, you know something about the 12 steps of AA, there is that step number 2 that says that we believe that a power greater than ourselves can deliver us to sanity. Okay. A lot of people don't understand what that sanity means. You know, like they imagine that we were insane in some way. But insanity of an alcoholic, basically, is doing the same thing, but knowing very well what the consequences will be when it wears off. And I like the way that the discussion we are having here, the forum, basically, like the way you use the word dad. You know, like anyone can be a father. When my time comes, not now God, but when my time comes, I'd love to be a dad, because anybody can be a father. But it takes a special person to be a dad. My dad was special. Like, he gave me everything that Kagonto has just said. But me nilikuwa manga. Nilikuwa manga on my own. Like, sijui nilinherit, you know, inheritance from somewhere. Because my dad showed me the right path. If you want to make it in life, go north. But I say, let me see what is in south. You know, like, even when you're talking about like kids and how we are raising our kids nowadays. You know, like, you cannot heal, and this is the worst mistake I've seen people trying to do, healing through their kids. You know, like, you want your kid to be that kid that you wanted to be growing up. So you're just throwing everything on him that you wanted to be thrown on you. And again, too, unaweza ambia mtoto everything, but always remember that kids actually like pick what we model. More than what we tell them. Unaona? And unapata at the end of the day, like when you were growing up, mess up, ama when you came home late, the first question that will go on is your siblings is, mama ko home, ama dada ko home, kulingana ule unaogopa. Unaona? This generation that we have right now, the Gen Zs, like, it's like their mind has a mind of their own. You know, like, and I like it because they are independent when it comes to thinking. Sio kama sisi when we were growing up. You know, like, there was a time an uncle of mine told me, a boy becomes a man when a man is needed. So utapata 7-year-old analima ikanusu. And he's expected, because now you are a man. So when you're raising or bringing up those kids, don't, you know, like, try to heal yourself through them. You know, there is this Hindu saying, that before you heal someone, you must first of all ask them, are you ready to get rid of everything that made you sick? So before you talk positivity to your kids, you personally, are you ready to get rid of everything that made you sick? Unaona, Kagonto amesema like how he wished he grew up in the family. Everyone did. You know, like, but we cannot all get that slice.
That's true.
But at the end of the day, you can create that bread in your home. You know, like, instead of like the breadcrumbs that we used to receive now and then. But it will have to come from behaviors that we are modeling to these kids. Not just speaking to them or talking to them. We must show them the path and walk with them.
Bernard, I'm curious. During this time, in your 10 years, you found a coping mechanism that really, now we know, there is no coping. It was just running and running and running and running, and it took quite a bit of time. But in those spaces, did you have like a boy, like your boy that you would talk to, you know, ama tunapatana tu tunapiga drink and then that's it? Were you able to voice it out so that you can say, I spoke but nobody listened? Or was it all internal, that as long as I'm in a good place with people, hawajui shida zangu, ndarudi kudili nazo nikirudi kwa nyumba ama nikisoba up?
Actually, I had a lot. Like, mimi nilikuanga, you know that guy, ule like, if you miss the bar like even for 2 days, people
Watu
will come,
wanakuuliza,
wanakuja home, kuangalia
Uko
nini,
wapi?
you know, like they would call you.
Yeah.
So I was surrounded by a lot of people.
Yes.
You know, I had support. But when I got sober, because I've been 9 years clean now,
Yay.
yeah, that is when I understood that actually even my drinking was a cry for help.
Okay.
But just like I said before,
Yes.
it was not loud enough.
Yeah.
And then people interpreted it the wrong way.
Okay.
Unaona? So utatumwa uongee na mtu fulani, they'll only speak about drinking. You are drinking. You are drinking too much. You are, to a point where ninge predict exactly what you'll tell me. You know, like utaniambia nasumbua
Yeah,
madhe,
yeah.
nakunywa, niliwacha shule, nilifanya nini. But nobody told me about my underlying issues.
Yes.
What I'm running away from. Because ndakunywa, looking for oblivion, tamka the next day, I hear tap on my back. We are still here. Those are my underlying issues. Hatujaenda pahali,
Tuko tu hapa.
tuende bar. You know, like until I went to rehab basically,
Yeah.
and I learned that my underlying issues were shame, doubt, and guilt.
Okay.
And then I asked, like, for 10 years, those 3 things,
Yes.
4 things, shame, doubt, and guilt. Actually, my first diploma was chemical dependency, addiction counseling. I did not do it to become a counselor. I wanted to know for 10 years.
Yes.
Like, sikuwa ijiambia, buache ufala. You know,
Imetosha.
like, give myself a conversational slap.
Yes.
I never did that.
Yeah.
But everyone was just seeing the drinking,
Yeah.
but nobody really spoke to me,
About the underlying issues.
yeah, in my own language.
Yeah. And I'd like to understand what that looks like, especially, but sorry, nimekukat short,
it's okay.
Bernard,
It's
it's
okay.
okay. Continue.
Yeah, I remember, like, actually, like, when I won't say where I went,
Yes.
but I went there for like 4 months, and actually they employed me afterwards.
Oh, okay.
So big up. I met a young girl. She was actually going through heroin addiction. And she used to ask me every day, "Hey, Brown, why are you here?" Namwambia alcohol. Hey, like for 2 weeks. Then one day I just got pissed off and I was like, "Wait, ukiniuliza hiyo swali tena, sijui kama ni dawa zako hazifanyi kazi kama unisikii, like we'll have some problems."
Yes.
Na akaniambia, "There you go. Now I've got you where I wanted you to be. Why are you here?" Now I'm totally pissed.
Yes.
And she told me, alcohol got you here, that you need to figure out why are you here.
That's deep.
And I think that is what I owe those 9 years to, those words that was said to that girl.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. Unajua ile kitu wananga come back.
Yeah.
Ile una feel
Yeah.
nataka come back lakini
Gani?
Yeah.
Hakuna. Yeah.
So she told me, until you stop fighting yourself and stop and face whatever it is that you are running away from, your demons, you will figure out why you are here.
That is deep. That is deep. And I'd like to also understand, because we'll have our HR practitioner joining us in the next hour, Alan Mangi Wawero. I'd like to find out if, and the effect of this, because so far we've just seen you on your journey. I am dealing, I'm surrounded by people, underlying issues, 9 years, 10 years, you have this question that now you have to think, but then what was the effect of everything around you? Relationships with mom, dad, work, were you able to keep it together at work? Were you walikuwa wanakuelewa ama wakuelewa? Kuna mtu yoyote aliwahi find out at work what is really the problem, if at all there was a problem? We'll get into that after the break. The question we are asking you today before we go on this break is a very easy one. We're asking you, why are men less likely to talk about mental health at work? Why are men less likely to talk about mental health at work. NTV Kenya on all of our social media platforms, and you can send it on our WhatsApp number, that is 0769 590 762, 0769 590 762. We'll be right back after the break with our HR practitioner as well. Welcome back to Your World Mindful Monday. We're talking about mental health in men at the workplace. So what happens to them at work? Is there a safe space for them to open up? And we've heard from the counseling psychologist, family therapist, and Bernard champion for mental health, especially in men, and they've shared their story. He's shared his story with us, and joining us for the next hour is HR practitioner Maingi Waweru. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Lovely to have you. Yes. Do you want to do the thing, or do you?
Oh yeah, my name is Maingi Waweru.
Yeah, I love how you say it. So of course I had to pull you in on that one. Yeah. And the conversation. So we'll just start with you because we've shared quite a bit before you joined in. Yeah. But the latest data shows that roughly 3.7 million workers in Kenya live with mental health conditions. Mm-hmm. Now the conversation today is not just general for everyone, it's for the men. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you've probably been able to see patterns as a HR practitioner. Mm-hmm. You're able to cite and see probably kuna employee who's probably going through a thing, and are there systems in place for HR to be able to step in and help or inquire other than delayed submissions, late deadlines, and all of that, if there's something else underneath for that?
You know, one thing I have to thank the Kenyan government, most especially those who coordinate the training of the curriculum for university education, is if you are a trained human resource practitioner, then part of the curriculum is you get to do a unit called HR counseling. So HR counseling allows you to be able to pinpoint these issues, know how to address them, and also know how to navigate them. Because at times, every case is unique. Be it as it may, there is what is in the textbook, but then again, you also come to the real life. There's some nuggets that you will pick, or I picked from that unit, that allows you to be able to know how well to navigate in each case.
Okay, and that being probably on a personal level, but institutions and systems in place, because we give, sometimes we look at physical impairment and we're like, broken leg, fell down the stairs or something happened, and there's a special treatment towards that because it's visible, we can see it. But mental health sometimes it's not
it's not something you can see.
Yes. So with that kind of special situation with the mental health, is it something that we're equipped as an organization to be able to just be like, this and these services are available for you if we notice that that is what you're suffering for?
Allow me to gloat for a minute, given that I work for this organization.
Okay, gloat away.
That is Nation Media Group. And I think the heart that is in the HR department, whereby we have emphasized the need to always have mental wellness sessions. But the disappointing part sometimes is you find that most employees don't get to join, but they get to be very critical and very important to be able to know how to navigate each case. Number two is we have partnered with organizations. For example, the organization that offers you your medical insurance. Whenever you feel like you need to talk to somebody, because life has done that thing, is that the organization is willing to, you can make a call at whatever time of the day or the night, and they will be able to help you. Again, we also have a psychological farm on board that, you go talk to them, and that also covers your family as well. You go talk to them, and you know what, as a company, is on us. We'll pay. We'll pay.
And Silas, you had a question. I don't know if he's already answered the question that you had from the break, because alifika tu hivi uko like niambie.
Alikuja.
Yes, Silas.
I think it's like he had foreseen my question, and I think you answered quite well. But my issue is, are there some times when you listen to employees, are there some things that you look at the organization and you feel, I think we need to adjust 1, 2, 3, because now when you talk about mental illness in the workplace, of course there are some things that somebody comes with them from home, from wherever, and then there are some triggers at the workplace. Are there some times that you find yourself adjusting 1, 2, 3 things in the workplace, or maybe recommending because for the sake of now the wellness of the employees. Yeah.
You know, one thing I like about the modern day expansion of education and research is you cannot have an organizational structure that one shoe fits all, whereby you will say that this is how we do things and that is how. In certain situations that will work. But when it comes to aspects most especially that are psychological and emotional, is you cannot have a one shoe fits all. So with time as we progress, there are changes that need to be done and others are still being done. Sometimes, sadly, is that some of these changes will come with the organization getting to rethink and realigning their budget. But the changes are essential, they are critical. And part of it, critical and foundational to it, is equipping managers, most especially, even HR professionals, with the training that is required for them to be able to identify these cases. Because at the end of the day, is who is going to be the first person who is going to encounter this at the workplace? It's most especially going to be your manager.
Yes.
So your manager, instead of being reactive, should be able to identify, be like, I think we were taught this, so this is how I'm supposed to navigate it.
Yeah.
So training has been critical, and always being a dynamic organization and a dynamic people to be able to navigate these cases.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, allow me to say this, Mwikali.
Yeah.
I think that was spot on. And I like it that you engage your employees, and also the managers also are also like prepared for what to expect from the employees. And I'm looking at this now from the perspective now of the employee. You know, an organization cannot be able to adjust itself now to the needs of an individual.
Yes.
So one of the things that we do now as a therapist is to help people to know that you may not be able to change the work environment, you may not be able to change the policies, but what are some of the things that you can be able to adjust within yourself? So the change is not without, it's not from some other quarters. It is from you as a person. And I think it's also good to tell men out there that organizations will be the way they are. And when you're working, work is a blessing.
Yes.
It's a privilege. It's a privilege. So what are some of those things that are making you feel like you are off, and maybe you are, the workplace is becoming a bit of a stressor?
Yes.
Is it your coping mechanisms? Is it your attitude? So it's not about now maybe the organization, but it is, the big percentage is on you as a person.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a structure, there are policies, but then not for you as a person. What are some of the things that you can be able to change? Thank you.
I love that you could get all the help that you can from outside, but if it's not from within you, the need to change, like what Bernard said, aliambiwa, stop fighting, whatever, stop running, deal, kubali kile iko. And there's something that Bernard mentioned earlier, and he said how, as a man, when you wake up in the morning, it's just like, okay, here we go again, expectations, it's work already. Si lazima ufike kwa ofisi ndio ikuwe nimefika kazini. It's already like the mental space of that. And looking at probably some of the signs to look out for when a man is probably going through an issue or the burnout is really now showing. What are some of the things that maybe we could help to help even others around them to be on the lookout for?
Pretty nice, and I like the direction the conversation is taking.
Yes.
Because a lot of men out there will really get help, and of course will become better and be more productive. And when you talk about the signs and the symptoms, what you need to look out for in terms of how the mental health conditions manifest, it's good. I get to appreciate what you say, that it's not physical per se. It's not like breaking your arm, where everybody will see you in a sling and they'll be like, oh, pole sana. Unfortunately, matters mental health is never written on your forehead, so it would be a bit tricky for you to pick, unless you're very present, with your loved one or even with yourself. And when you think about men and how the mental health conditions manifest, it would be a bit different from how it does with the women. For ladies, it would be easy for you to cry, to be a bit low, to show your emotions and all that. But for men, it would be a bit different. And this is where I normally advocate for people to really look inward and more so be very present with themselves, more so when they wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
What are your routines? You know, when you wake up, the first thing that you do. Some will say, maybe I check in the clock room. Some will say, I take a glass of water. Some will talk about praying. Some will say, you know, I take a shower and all that. And to me, most of the times you find that there's some sort of disruption when it comes to these daily routines. And if you are to pick more so on how this should present itself, say in the workplace, think of somebody who is not able to meet their deadlines, somebody who is irritable. There's also an element of, you know, anger, outburst and all that. And this is why we need to share a lot of compassion, especially with people who are really struggling. And I like it that HR is quite conversant with all these issues. And when you find that your buddy, you know, who was close to you, used to hang out, meet up, say to watch some game. I don't want to say the team.
This conversation could go south.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
But we never walk alone. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You understand?
Yes.
You find now they're literally walking alone. They don't want to socialize. They don't want to show up, you know, in your social circles and all that. This is not a time for you to call them names, saying that, you know, they are full of themselves and they no longer want to socialize with you. It's actually a wake-up call, somebody who needs to be reached out to and to seek what is happening with them. Probably there's somebody who is out there. They were never into drinking or even using these different substances to cope.
Yes.
And along the way, they pick up these tendencies. And you see what Bernard is saying, it's not actually the issue, it's actually a symptom, if not a sign of what is happening within. So the question is, are we able to be present to pick that something is amiss? There's some sort of change with this particular person. Are they able to take care of their families? Are they, you know, getting into debts, unnecessary debts, you know, because they want to feed into the addiction or the coping mechanism. And a lot of such may inform somebody who is not doing well, more so when it comes to matters of mental health.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes, Bernard.
Yeah, just to add on what my colleague here said.
Yes.
I think what troubles men a lot is what they bring with them to work every day. You know, traumas, stress, work-life imbalances.
Yes.
Actually, and the HR is here.
Yes.
I'm about to go and receive on him on a few. But before that, basically, like, if you have an employee and he's drinking, you know, like showing signs of, you know, he was not like this. As a HR or as a colleague, at least huyu anaonesha kuna some signs something is not right. I'm more worried about
the person,
the subtle ones. You know, like everything is okay, and I diffuse everything with humor. Then 3-4 days later, Nani committed suicide.
Yes.
Have you listened to what like their colleagues say? How? Tulikuwa naye jana. Like he was, I didn't see it.
Yes.
So like I always ask people like, how did you not like see all those signs? Because they were there. Like I have an organization called Hope is Home Counseling Services.
Yes.
There is something that we are doing with organizations. It is called the Human Library Concept.
Human Library Concept. What is that?
Basically, we go to an organization.
Yes.
And we pair people up. And you get to learn about each other. And then you present yourself, not as a name, as an individual, but as a book. Okay. So if it is me and my friend here, I will say this book or this series is called Flani Flani. Yes. My favorite chapter in this series is E. The chapter I feel like maybe he needs to change. Remember, he's your colleague.
Yes.
Ni.
Yes.
The ending was somehow nice, but I know he can do much better. By the end of that training, actually, umejua a lot about people more than anaishi Githurai, anatoka Ngai Masa. He does this show because like that is how we are losing people.
That is
you think that people are okay, but people are battling a lot. back to HR. Allow me to go and Rukibi on him.
Go.
I have a question. Just 2 questions only.
Yeah.
Yes.
You work for MTV, right?
Yeah.
So your number one job is to protect the organization or the employees?
Tereren. Me as employee, I'm seated right here.
Because actually, like, if you want to know about an organization,
Yes.
just ask someone who works there about the HR.
Yeah.
How is the relationship with the HR? Brother, sister,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
whole shebang.
Yes.
So,
I'll actually say that HR is a bridge between the organization and the people. We are supposed to make it easy for you to cross when you want to see your employer, and the employer also needs to make it easy for them to cross to this other side. So we are a bridge.
okay, now remove the bridge.
Then there is a
Are you
river.
people oriented or task oriented?
Pardon?
Are you people oriented or task oriented? At the end of the day, like when you clock out, like
Yeah.
what do you say about what you do?
Okay.
I protected my people, I protected my organization. And I'll tell you why I'm asking you these
Okay.
questions.
Okay, good. So, at the end of the day, the whole purpose and the reason for an organization existing is very clear. And so an organization is working every day to make sure if it is revenue, then we want to increase our revenue. If we want to have impact to the society, then we have to make sure that we have the impact there. However, well at it, we do not want it to be accomplished. The whole purpose and the vision and the goal of the organization should not be accomplished by making sure that the people who are doing it are not in the right space to be able to accomplish it.
Absolutely.
Now, in your own language, I swear you won't be fired. I'll protect you. Because it just sounded like we are about to hire him for a job. It's like he's in an interview.
Yeah.
Just say it like in a layman's language.
Yeah. Again, just like we are the bridge between organization and the employees, it's the same thing. We cannot exist and say that we are here for the organization. I mean, we are here to make sure that the tasks are complete. Is it our responsibility to make sure that that is accomplished? Yes, it is our responsibility. Is it our responsibility to ensure that the people who are fulfilling that task are fit to do that job, not only in their acuity as well, but also in their wholesomeness? Yes, it is also our job. So we cannot say that HR is just, task-oriented or people-oriented. Is it our job to do the both, to merge the both together? Yes, it is.
Why the complaint from
Acha niingililie kati.
Okay.
Acha niingililie kati.
psychologist?
Yes.
Like sometimes, like you'll do a session
Yes.
and HR will pop up so many times.
Yes.
To a point where I'm like, I need to meet that guy.
Kidogo Bernard. Your mic is being taken care of. Naskein ikona a bit of an issue, but yes, Kagondo.
Yes, I like how...
Alan. Maingi Waweru, sorry.
Yes.
Who is Alan, guys?
He's not here.
Yes.
How were you able to, guide us through more so on the roles, of the HR? And what I wanted to add on, it was
Yes.
on, this element of how we can be able to pick somebody's not well, okay? And how I love looking at it will also entail asking a simple question as, are you okay?
Yes.
Or how are you doing?
Okay.
And in most cases, the response is always,
I'm fine.
I'm fine.
Yes.
Okay. So it would be very hard, for our HR to be able to support or, guide you in the best way possible if you're not able to come out clean.
Yeah.
And this is where, as Bernard was talking about, the ones who are silent, the ones who seem to be okay, it's very important that we pay closer attention to them.
Yeah.
Because there's a tendency to present yourself as perfect.
Yeah.
One who is, should not, have it wrong. One who wants to put their best foot out there. And this is where you find that most of the workaholics, you know, at the end of the day, they have some challenges. So if you're out there and you find that your colleague, they don't want to go home early,
Yes.
okay, they want to transnight to complete a certain task,
Yeah.
they're always the ones who want to appear the best, if not perfect. It's also important that you get to think through such a person, because in most cases they're struggling in one way or the other, and what you are saying, the way that we run away, you know, from the issues, the challenges that you are facing, work can actually be one of the ways that we are running away from the reality.
That is so true.
So if a transnighting, workaholic, overworking,
Yes.
it's good that we get to take care of that particular person.
That is so true. I lost a very close friend, relative this year, and at the burial, the conversations were, how we found out what really happened is that the trend was he'd work very late, and they were just like, this is not the kind of person who works very late. And sometimes at 8, he's supposed to send a certain report. Every morning at 8, there's a report that is sent to all the suppliers. All of a sudden, 8, akomteja, ayuko available. Then around 10, ndio unaona emails zimeanza kuenda, at some point haziendi anymore. And how they were the life of the party, and all of a sudden they are now just aloof. And as they tried to find maybe what's up behind the scenes, family and all of that, but unfortunately, his life came to an end. But it's important to be our own people's keepers. But at the end of the day, also, there's a lot of need to know that you have support, that the people around you, you're able to go to them for that kind of help. The question we're asking you is, why are men less likely to talk about mental health at work? And we've got a bit of feedback on our WhatsApp. Philip, if we can just have the feedback as well. Why are men less likely to talk about mental health at work? Let's see what our WhatsApp wanasema aje. Yes, Mwikali, naona tu Mwikali. Mwikali, Mkali. Yes, there you go. Mwikali. Okay. We men are walking deads, have been in the house since Corona time without an income, and I confirm to you, I am walking dead. There is no one to listen to a man. For one who gives you an ear, at the end of the story, they will call you a failure. God help me, because I'm the only one I'm remaining with. I lost everything plus my family because I was unable to provide. I'm waiting for my day. Cliff from Juja. I think Cliff probably needs a direct conversation with one of the counselors. We'll get his number after the show. I'm Zilpa. No, today. They feel... that's from I'm Zilpa, a person living with disability. I think the government should enforce the laws were passed. I think this is from last week's conversation. Maybe we can just look at, yes. They feel superior and they don't want to talk about it. That is why they end up suffering from bipolar. Hi, I'd like to raise an issue on man's mental health in the workplace. In many work environments, when female colleagues fall sick or face personal challenges, there's visible concern, follow-ups, and even organized support. However, when a man is sick or struggling at home, there is often silence. It is casually assumed that he is a man, he will manage. The reality is that many men suffer quietly. Social expectations discourage them from asking for help because it is interpreted as weakness or begging. As a result, issues go unnoticed until they escalate into serious mental health crises, job performance problems, or even death, when suddenly everyone claims they did not know. This silent neglect at the workplace creates a risky culture where men feel unsupported and isolated. I believe organizations need deliberate mental health check-ins that are gender inclusive, normalize vulnerability, and encourage early intervention. Men's mental health should not only be discussed when tragedy strikes, but proactively addressed as part of employee well-being. And I think, Alan, I'll ask you about the ratio between men and women who come forward the most. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. Whew. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have some of those questions answered, and we'll definitely reach out to the gentleman who texted us first, saying that he's at the end of the tunnel, I think. I don't know if there's light there. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll look at your feedback on Facebook as well concerning the question of the day and the conversation that we're having today. Don't go too far. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Mindful Monday on Your World. We're talking about mental health in men at the workplace. And just before we went on the break, Maingi, are you okay?
I am still alive. I'm still here. It's a good thing I was put at the end. I can just.
But I have to say, we met one day at the corridors. I shoot another show called The Elevate Show.
Yes.
And I was just from set and we were talking about a very heavy conversation. This lady was just sharing her life with us. And it was really, really heavy. The kind of show you leave and you're like, hey, I don't know what to do. And then I met you at the corridor and I was like, muko na insurance ya kansla. Nina need to say this. Can I check your card? It's available for you, you know. And that was just random, on a random Wednesday at the corridors at work. And I have to say kudos to that. It doesn't happen everywhere. So being able to know that I have that for myself is amazing.
But just an addition, it's not just a privilege that accords to you as an employee.
No.
But then again, for anyone out here maybe who might not actually be having an insurance cover and they're wondering, okay, who do I talk to?
Yes.
The thing is, if you actually Google on the internet, is that there are a lot of toll-free numbers where when you need to talk to someone, then you can just call them and you'll be able to lighten the burden. So usikufe. Wrong statement. Usiteseke.
But it's true. It's a reality. It's a reality. And before the break, we were just talking about it, that I lost a relative through that because they felt they couldn't talk to anyone and they just decided probably nimechoka, imetosha, nimefika mwisho. It's better to just make it stop. And probably we'll find out what the tools are and what is available for men, the toll-free number and other things that people can do. If probably they're not able to talk to anyone, what other tools are there for them. But just before we get onto that, I just want to highlight some feedback on our Facebook on the question of the day, and that is, why is it most likely that men do not talk about mental health at the workplace? Pamela Njeru says, due to how they have been socialized to portray masculinity, socially constructed gender norms, beliefs, and roles inform how we react and respond to situations around us. Gatekeepers of cultural norms need to work on these barriers. Samizain said, any man who complains in my society is considered a woman.
Wow.
Men fight in silence. And that's not the only one who says this. Rain Kimutai says, they will claim that you're a woman. Omosh Babayao says, we walk as we talk to ourselves. It's so heartbreaking. I prefer to talk about football. This is Dando Vidax Kenya. He says, I prefer to talk about football. Arsenal winning the league. Thompson Kingsley says something that, Silas, you mentioned during the break. Even if we speak out, come on, who can entirely solve the problem? Every man has to grind for himself. I think this should be considered as a national crisis, not throwing stones here to me. The nation is recently focusing much on the woman, who is the propeller, and ignores the engine that is the man, which has serious problems. And for the sake of speaking for both sides, some men, especially this generation, is copying the man from the movies, maybe the films and influencers they see. Come on, someone should spell out what it is to really be a man. Solo Champe says, cultural beliefs and pressure from society that a man should die a fighter, neglecting the fact that mental health is directly proportional to physical, emotional, and spiritual health. This explains why most men die at an early age. Mundia says, no one will listen to men, even their fellow men.
Even themselves.
Philip, let's see what's up. Yes. Hello, I'm personally pitying our boy child. Tell men they are loved. Let them speak. Anything pressuring them, waonge iwatoke. A good woman should listen and reason. Good morning, Your World. For us, the unemployed men, we can't relate to men's mental health suffering in the workplace. But as us, the unemployed, we envy their problems. Then at least they have HR to go to. They have income. Some workplaces have a counseling department and budget, but for us, who do we go to? And by the way, why is the show specifically centered on men's mental health at work? It should cover all of us. That is Alex. Thank you for your message. Edward says, what do you think is the biggest barrier to men opening up about mental health? Do you have one more? From childhood, Many men are taught, don't cry, don't complain, handle it yourself. So when depression hits, it feels like failing at being a man, not just feeling unwell. The fear of looking weak. Men often worry that opening up will make people lose respect for them, and that affects relationships or jobs or be used against them later. So silence feels safer than vulnerability. We were never taught how to handle emotions or explain inner and deeper pain, that it's hard for someone to notice. That's why the guy in the panel stayed for 10 years without anyone noticing there's something wrong with him. So instead of saying I'm depressed, it comes out as anger, withdrawal, alcohol or substance abuse. We are on our own, mtuombe. And please, let's bring back boy child empowerment to Ms. Haulika Sisi, our ma'am Dorcas Gachagua. Okay. That's how the society have structured them. My name is Sylvia Mwende, and also toxic leaders at workplace. If we know how these men are precious to us, we could sit down and listen to them.
Mwikali,
yes.
Allow me to talk to Alex, who feels like there is no one to talk to because of being unemployed. And tell you, Alex, yes, some organizations have a counseling department, others have a HR department that they can go to. But you see, for us to be able to create a safe society where we can all thrive and grow, it all begins with you. That is you and I. If we take the step of being very intentional with our friendships, and sometimes not just allowing easy conversations to just pass and go, but also getting to be intimate. It's a word that when used nowadays could be misinterpreted, but let us also be very intimate with our friendships. Let us know, what did you eat last night? Did you have anything to eat? Call me and just ask me, hey, I absolutely have nothing to talk about, but I just want to hear your voice. At least I'll know that I'm cared for and somebody minds. I met an interesting friend towards the end of last year. And that friend keeps on telling me that you cannot pour out of an empty cup. Hi, Brian, I know you're watching. And so it's true. But then again, when you pour into my cup, then you put a drop, even if it's just a single drop, and then I can share that drop with somebody else. And with so doing, then we create something habitable. And hey, you make my job easy.
Absolutely. A lot of the comments from Facebook and on WhatsApp are, we can't talk, nobody will listen. We will be less men, we will be undermined. Those words that we say will be used against us. So there's a fear of opening up because it will be transferred, it will be said to somebody else, you'll be judged. Yeah. So if somebody has that fear as a man, how can they, because they understand what is going on within them. They wanajua ninateseka na kitu fulani, finances, mama kwa nyumba, familia kwenye nimetoka, kazini and all of that. How can they cope? What can they do?
Pretty nice, and I love how open we are becoming.
Yes.
More so with this particular topic, matters mental health regards to men. And there's a lot of fear out there of one being misjudged, and that tells you that there's a lot of stigma and stereotyping out there. And the reason why the stigma is so high is because we really don't have some good understanding of what it means to be mentally okay, to have some mental health wellness and all that. And you know, it's not a crime for you to go through the issues, for you to experience some challenges. It doesn't make you less of a man to reach out, to call out for support. And this is why, beyond the titles that we hold, beyond the title of a dad, beyond the title of a father, beyond the title of a HR, we are humans.
Yes.
And we really need to appreciate that particular fact. Because most of the time, the titles, in a way, they blind us. Because, you know, people will look at you from through a certain lens. And out of it, you find that you are hindered. And you really don't have a good space whereby you can be able to reach out. And when we understand that, number one, we are humans, then we can start dealing with issues from a personal and a human perspective. This is where I get to appreciate that I have emotions within me. This is where I get to pick that whenever I go through the challenges, there's that dominant emotion that I have. Some will say I'm anxious, some will say that, you know, I'm full of guilt, some will talk about sadness, others will talk about fear, others it would be happiness. And once you get to appreciate your significant or even the dominant emotion, we can be able to start looking at where it manifests and how we can be able to deal with that. So the thing is, as much as yes, we are not emotional beings according to how the society perceives us, it's good that we get to know that we are humans and we do respond to life issues, and from which we can be able to get the support that we so desire. So the thing is, love yourself. Be kind to you. You know, it's not selfish to be kind to yourself. If, like our HR is talking about, the only time that I can be able to fill into your cup, it's when I have already done so to mine, okay? This is where they say that you love your brother, if your neighbor, the same way that you love yourself. So it has to start from within. And it comes from a space of accepting that I'm not okay and that I need to get help.
Yeah, and maybe Silas, you can add on to that.
I think I wanted to add on what he is saying from a family level.
Yes.
And I think it's also a message to men and maybe anybody who is in a kind of a relationship, maybe a husband, a boyfriend, girlfriend. It is good for men, let me say men who are married, to build a safe haven in their families. It can be disastrous when you're going through stuff at the workplace, and then when you go home, it is still some hell. So it is the responsibility of the man, because now you have the authority, the masculinity, to ensure that your home is working, yeah? And we are talking about now solving any issues that make now your family a hell. It is a place whereby people are supposed to feel peace when all things are not working out there. Yeah. That you can refresh, yeah, and you have a level of communication whereby you can be able to share about your fears with your significant other, yeah, without feeling like you're exposing yourself too much. Yeah, whatever you share, you feel like you're sharing to the right person. So it's very important for men to build a safe haven in the home, so that now it will be a place whereby they find healing when things are not working out there. Because what is happening is that, especially men, when it comes to now coping mechanisms, when somebody goes through stuff, especially a man, maybe in the family, like now things are not working with the wife, so what they do is that they pick another woman for solace and for comfort.
Yeah.
And when it is not working now with the second one, they go for the third.
Yeah.
So now we are talking of now adding 3 problems to the already more problems that you have.
Yes.
So the problem continue to escalate. And I think it is that time now as men, we talk about our coping mechanisms. Yeah, how are we handling our situation? Because sometimes the intervention that we take, they're adding more problems rather than now, bringing the problems down, increasing and, exposing us now to more even mental damage. Thank you.
That is so true.
Yeah.
Yes, Bernard.
Yeah, and also as practitioners, I think we need to sit down with, people who are affected without pathologizing their pain.
Okay.
Just sit down with them like a human being.
Yes.
Like we have had instances where actually like watu wanajuanga yuko kazi because lift hainuki pombe. I've had instances like people say, hey, nani hayuko leo? Kwa nini lift hainuki pombe? So the whole workforce label this person as a kalewa.
Yes.
So he's walking around with a label that don't actually belong to them.
Yes.
Now tell me, what do you do when you have so much emotional pain?
Yeah.
And you don't know what to do with it?
Yes.
And that is when apatanga almost 80% of suicide letters, they either start or end with the word I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Who are they sorry to? What are they sorry for? So it is not a you or me job. It is an us thing, like everyone has a role to play.
Yeah.
Because us, at least, let me say me personally,
Yes.
I'm self-aware.
Yes.
I will nitaongea pali nitaongea. But there's someone out there, like if you saw those 2 WhatsApps that were written by those 2 men, they were very long. Did you probably notice? They were very long. Kuliko hizi zingine. Like punching in their pain. Now imagine actually what that guy is going through on a daily basis.
Yeah.
Because if this show can make him type such a paragraph,
Yes. Kuna tabu.
Yeah,
Kuna
so-
tabu. And maybe just to probably understand that you went through this and you had a turnaround, and I don't know, probably the tools or the people that were around you to help you walk that journey. How hard or easy was it for you to realize that there's actual help, and it's probably the drinking is a cover-up, and that I can actually talk to someone and they will listen? And how was the journey of recovery for you?
Actually, I always tell people, I've been sober for 9 years. 10 years ago, if you had asked me, would you love to be a counselor? I think ningecheka yangu yote, because the way I came to being a counseling psychologist, and I'm saying this with a pinch of salt.
Yes.
Let me make it a bit humorous.
Okay.
I became a counselor just the way Viagra was discovered, by accident.
Okay.
By accident. You know, after I did my 90-day program,
Yes.
I became a recovery coach.
Yes.
And then I was asked, you have a passion for this thing. You can actually pursue it.
Yes.
And I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
So that place started giving me some classes. And just like that interest developed. And voila, the same way they discovered Viagra by accident,
Yes.
Vena was discovered. So the healing process, basically for this 9 years, I always tell people getting sober is very easy. But now maintaining sobriety is a totally different thing.
Yeah.
That is why we have, in our organization, a program that we call a recovery maintenance plan.
Okay.
Where even after rehab, after you go to those recovery centers, we do a recovery maintenance plan for you, tailor-made just for you.
Yes.
Like he said, no one suit fits all.
That's true.
And then we do follow-ups. Lucky for me, I had that support in that facility and the people that were around me.
Yes.
And just like they say, when a child washes his hands, he can dine with the kings.
Yeah.
So mine are clean.
Yeah.
And actually, again, the 12 steps, I do a lot of step 12. Taking this message out there to people who are still suffering, to people who are still saying, I'm okay, but your thoughts are okay. So we are okay, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. There's a question that I wanted to find out from Alan earlier in terms of, sorry, Mangi Wawero.
Yeah, Mangi Wawero.
Guys. Okay, Mangi Wawero, and you have to say it that way.
Yeah, Mangi Wawero.
In terms of disclosure, and there's from the comment that came up, how when women have issues, they're taken up seriously. It's probably I'm having my cramps, I'll be open and talk about it, and I will come to you, I'll go to my immediate supervisor, I will go to my producer, and be like, I'm not feeling very well, I just need a break. How often do you experience that with the men?
I'll surprise you,
Yeah.
of which I am really impressed. But allow me to just take you a little bit back.
Okay.
I remember when I was in primary school, when a woman at the time they were becoming women, is that whenever she's having her periods, it used to be a secret.
Oh, yeah.
We don't want people to find out,
Yes.
But I think how the media has stepped into place on all platforms is that we have spoken about this, and you're like, you know what, it's something not to be ashamed of, to a point that, you know what, Mwikali can approach me today on the corridors and be like, oh my God, today I'm cramping. And it will be fine.
Yes.
So the same thing is happening right now. We might look at the vices and actually not look at the good side of it, whereby it is changing.
Yes.
It is changing. And the more we keep on talking about it, the more somebody else is gaining the courage.
Yes.
I mean, my heart goes to Alex and so many others who had the courage to actually type that, because it means the courage is there. The courage is there. But the thing is, what do we do now that people can, men and women as well can, and children
Yes.
can actually talk? So to answer your question, you'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Men are speaking up, and yay! Yay to you! Yay to you!
Absolutely.
Is it what we want it to be? No. But are we growing? Yes, we are. And you know what? Kudos to us. We should tap ourselves on the back.
Yes.
Is there more work to be done? Yes. Should the government, organizations, and also individuals chip in? Yes, we should.
Yeah, there's more than it's a journey that we're walking. And to be honest, I think even the HR structure over time has evolved to just see and hear the opportunities and the conversations that are being had that had sit through a mental wellness session that has been facilitated by your employer is something to definitely be grateful for. There probably tools that I don't know if it's just women, but I think probably, I don't know if men do them as well as women do. And we've already talked about the talking, but there are things like journaling or just letting that emotion out, because there's a message from my WhatsApp, and this guy says, Manzeni ngori for a man to talk about issues affecting him. Society treats men harshly. I would rather walk talking to myself in a field than go home. That is Mbogo Mwalimu Mkuu. And I'm wondering, in the same way, is this the same as journaling? Is this advisable to just talk to yourself? Because this is not the first one who's texted and said, I'd rather just talk to myself. Is it a healthy way to release? Or is there a better way to do it?
I like it, and you know what Wawero is talking about, things have really, become better, more so with how far we have come towards the fight against mental health, more so men's mental health. This takes me back to my gym instructor. I remember this guy asking me, what is your story? Because everybody has a story, and especially in those gyms, as they lift the weights, as they're trying to tone and become better. Most of men really run into the gyms to ensure that they fight those demons, and through which they're able to manage some of their issues. And this is where I say that everybody's story is different, and what works for me may not work for the other person. It could be I'm a fan of football, and I love playing football. Every other Sunday you find me in the field. That works for me. But somebody else will say, I love hiking. I love going to the farm. I love doing ABCD, because that's what works and speaks to them. And when you talk about the journaling, it's a very good tool that we can all use. Of course, managing the stigma and the issues that come with somebody fearing that their story will be out there. There's normally that precaution, not to share, not to talk to people, because they might actually tarnish your name. And more so at the workplace, because in most cases you fear, if I come out and say that, I'm experiencing some mental breakdown, probably my employer might think that I'm not productive and conducive to be in that particular space. So what do I advocate for?
Yes.
In the evening, as you retire to bed, it's always good that you take an account of your daily occurrences. And this is where the journaling comes in. Pick how your day was, what was difficult about it, the emotional experience that you had, the encounter that you had, and probably what you can be able to do to work around things and become better. And writing is one of the ways that you can be able to bring out that has been stored within your system. Because like they're saying, when you think of traumas and the underlying issues that you have gone through, in most cases, they're actually stored within the body. And no wonder you hear people talking about re-experiencing certain encounters, the anxiety levels going high, because one, there has been a trigger. So as you take, you note down, as you write your encounters and all that, that in a way relieves you. But we should do more when it comes to making it okay for people to come out and talk about the challenges. And this is why we are having some good platforms where men can come out and talk about their issues. Having a very good program for the boy child becoming a man, to help them make peace, with the issues that they go through. For those who are doing Masculinity Monday, kudos, because that is one of the ways that we can provide and create platforms that men can come out and talk about the issues and deal with them in a healthy way.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I see our time is running out, so I'm just going to give the panelists to just do their pointers and final panel shot. Less than a minute to go, actually, but yeah.
So there's something that you said that there's one not single way of dealing with issues.
Yes.
And I think one of the things that as men we are supposed to do is to challenge, we are the most postmodern world, whereby we can even challenge our belief system. Yeah, that thing that holds us from opening up. I think it's the right time we challenge that and ask ourselves, like, what do I lose? What do I lose? What would I lose if I open up? If whatever I'm hiding is known, yeah, what is it that I'm going to lose? So by that we are challenging our belief system.
Yes.
And you also talked about building relationships and investing in them.
Yes.
And I think as men we should invest in them, not just for our benefit,
yes,
but also like he said, also investing in others and also trying to reach out to help them.
Okay.
And as we help others, also we find help.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we have 10 seconds and 10 seconds. Please, Philip. Please. Yes.
Okay, get yourself an accountability partner.
Yes.
Before you learn about journaling.
Yes.
Last but not least,
Yes.
ask yourself the hard questions
Yeah.
as far as mental health is concerned.
Yeah.
For example, like, if I was to hire you today and fire you in the next 6 months, what do you think will be the main reason why I fired you? Thank you.
Yes, now, Maingi, 10 seconds.
I think I'll speak to the professionals and even to the organizations. I mean, thank you for every organization that is putting in steps and measures to be able to have safe working spaces for everyone. But then again, maybe it is also good to reflect on the steps and the actions we take so that we can actually even assess the impact on what we are doing. Hey, because there is always more that can always be done, or we can even improve what is already existence. My name is Maingi Waweru. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you so much. And I know we didn't talk about your upcoming book. We'll definitely talk about it next time. Thank you so much for tuning in today. See you tomorrow. Same time, same place for all the men out there. Nasikia mlisema tuseme tunawapenda. Tunawapenda.
Sema I.
Ninakupenda.
Thank you.
Adios.